Nick, what up, man? How you doing today?
Good man, how are you?
Man, I'm doing amazing, bro. How would you introduce yourself to someone who maybe doesn't know you yet?
I would say I'm a coach. And whenever I say that, it's like a very broad answer. And I feel like it's a good way of being humble, but also I don't like coming off as the person being like, oh, I'm a personal trainer or I'm a life coach, because it's honestly so much more than all of that. I break it into right, four pillars of a man: mindset, habits, training, nutrition. And I am a full time coach in person. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, but I also run an online coaching business. And so, in person coaching, it's more of a strength work, right? Primarily, people come in to work out with me and then they leave. And then online, it's more of a life coaching, right? I have people who I dial in structure for in their work schedule on the daily: nutrition, training. A bunch of former athletes. I was a college athlete myself. I wrestled in college, and I didn't really know how to take that competitive edge in the college sports world into the real world, we could say. And the only thing I liked to do was work out and coach people. So I was like, you know what? We're going to take with this and we're just going to run with it.
Yeah. Bro, a lot of people usually take something that they're good at and they either never use it or they use it to like build something amazing in the future. And usually there's no real in between. Usually people like completely don't use their fucking talents, or they use them and they build something amazing.
Exactly. And it's what's crazy to me is it's like in the world of 20 in the year 2026, I was talking about this last night on my Instagram. Everyone has a skill, right? And it's like, why wouldn't you double down on the skill and the thing that you love to do and figure out how to make a living from it? Everyone's on their phone nowadays, right? Why would you not be what you want to do? It is the only time in the world ever, and it will only be around for 3 to 5 years, where you could do what you love and figure out how to make it profitable.
Yeah. What was like your childhood like? How did you grow up?
I grew up in a great family, man. My parents, Tammy and Bob. I grew up in New Hampshire, in New England, and it was really just it was filled with sports, really, man. I have a little brother named Griffin, and it was really just outside sports, man. In New Hampshire, we have some a good land, but really great family growing up. But it was honestly really sports oriented, right? It's not just everything we did. Obviously, we hung out with friends when we were younger, but we were always busy. When I was younger, growing up, my parents did their best to keep me and my little brother busy. If we weren't doing sports, we were signed up for something else. If we weren't doing that, like, we were never sitting around. We were never allowed to be inside the house playing video games. Like, I grew up on a cul-de-sac, right? And so I grew up with like 10 boys. So it's like a road, a dead end, right? With a loop at the end of it. So I grew up on like a quiet street, but there were 10 boys on the street. And so we grew up fighting, wrestling, doing all those things in the backyard in the woods, but we were really never inside, man. But it was like a lot of sports and outdoor activities, man.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays kids don't even like do like ding dong ditching like we used to as kids, or some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We used to do crazy stuff. We used to do, I don't know why this just came into my head. We used to do crazy stuff, man. We would put ketchup and mustard and water balloons thrown. Like, we were doing wild shit when we were kids, man. But it's because we weren't inside. You know what I'm saying? We were not allowed inside. So, but yeah, man, you're so right.
You know, the human body will endure any type of pain except boredom. You know, there was this one test where they put people in a white room and they had one button that it would shock them, just like create pain for no reason. Every single person out of like the 10 people that I tested it on, within 3 hours they pressed the button to shock themselves, because they knew that it was gonna shock them and they knew that it was gonna feel pain, it was gonna be painful, but they would rather feel pain than be bored. And I feel like that usually people either do degenerate, stupid, destructive shit, Or if the boredom is kind of a way to success in a sense, because if you only have the work and you don't have video games or stupid shit, naturally you're going to do anything but be bored. So if you can only isolate the good things that you can do, so I don't know, you sell your Xbox and now you can't play video games anymore. Like now you kind of have to do the work. Now obviously I know people will find any way to do the degenerate shit, but if you're kind of like rational about it and you cut the ties with the degenerate, stupid, bad habits, you're kind of forced to do the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so true. And it's just about moving the bad things in their environment, right? It's like if you want to lose 50 pounds, why do you have a bunch of cookies and ice cream in the fridge or in the freezer, right? It's like removing the things. But that's so true. I never even thought of that analogy. People sitting in a box bored, they knew that was going to shock them, yet they were still going to hit that button because of boredom.
Yeah. When you were growing up, when did you like start looking into fitness or bodybuilding in general?
I'm not really a bodybuilder guy. I'm more of it was always athlete performance for me, even when I was younger. When I was younger, I had a few coaches, but I actually had a mentor, Nathan Lawrence. Shout out Nate Lawrence when I was younger. And he, it was more or less like I was always the smallest kid growing up. I was like in high school. I wrestled in high school. I wrestled in college at Vermont State University. And in high school, I wrestled 106 pounds, 106 pounds, 106 pounds. And then my senior year of high school, I wrestled 113 pounds. So I was always the smallest kid. And like Nate, who I looked up to at the time, they were all wrestling in college. So I kind of just started going to the gym with them. I lived down the road from him. And so he was probably 22, 23. And he just started taking me to the gym. I was probably 12, 13, 14. And they were all lifting heavy weights, right? But I would just be sitting there and I just wanted to be part of a group. I just wanted to be with the cool kids, what the guy I looked up to, what he was doing. And it just happened. It was a good thing. So then it started getting to a point where it was like, okay, this is just what you do. You just go to the gym. Right. So it was like 13, 14 years old. I'd come home from baseball practice and then Nate would pull up and he'd be like, let's go. And then I'd go to the gym with him and then I'd come back. And it was kind of just a wake up and repeat thing. It was always for sports. But when I was that age, I was just like, I was always the smallest kid. I wanted to gain weight. Like this is not back in the day, right? Make me sound so old. I'm 25. But like this is when studies were coming out. Like strength training stunts your growth. And right now, you see all the young kids. I hear myself muffling. I can hear myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just started being able to hear myself.
Shit, what the fuck? There should be noise cancellation. Hold on. Yo, what about now? Is it better?
Yo. No, I still hear it.
Really? What the fuck? Holy shit, bro! My headphones are fucking cooked right now. So I mean, they ran out of batteries. They're fully dead. So I'm thinking how to solve this shit. It is bad.
Yeah, but I'll just turn down this, and then I'll just keep yapping.
Is it better now?
Not really.
Fuck, bro. Hold on. I think I know how to. Ooh. Is it good like when I mute myself?
I hear you fine. Oh wait, there we go. Now it's good. Oh no, it's not. When I talk, I can hear. Now I can't. Okay, I see.
Okay, so the way this works is when I'm unmuted because I use it from the speakers. So I'm gonna mute myself whenever you're talking.
Okay, cool. So and like I was saying, back then it wasn't like the generation now where like all the kids are training, right? I work at a gym in Charleston, and you go into the gym and dude, there's 14, 15, 16-year-old kids in the gym, which is great to see, right? But back when I was 13, 12, 13, 14, there was no one. Like you were going to the gym and you were like 18, maybe like mid early 20s there were people in the gym, but there weren't a ton of people in the gym. So I really just got into physical fitness. I was was just surrounded by the people who were doing it. I was wrestling at a young age, and how I looked at it is, I always like to win. Very, very competitive. And I always looked at it like, I can win more if I get stronger. I was always the smallest, which I always felt the weakest. So how do I not be the smallest and the weakest? Go to the gym with guys that are bigger than me, and then maybe someday I won't be the smallest and the weakest. And that was really like the clean, basic thought process about it in my head.
Interesting, man. You know, how did you go from like skinny to buffer and bigger? Because I know that a lot of skinny guys struggle with that shit.
Yeah, it's more on. Like it took me so long, man. Like I said, I was in my freshman year of college. I wrestled 125 pounds. So I was like 21, 22 years old, like 130 pounds. Like obviously I was cutting a little weight to do it, but really just eating, man. Everyone thinks in this. I had a conversation with an online client last night. Everyone thinks it's like, oh, I need more protein and I need to lift more weights. It's like you need to pick up the fork. And when I went from like 130 pounds to like 160 pounds, I did it in like 3-4 months during the summer. The biggest game changer that my coach at the time told me was 5 meals a day, 75 grams of carbs with every single meal. People are focused on the protein. You need to get big first. The protein, you'll hit your protein goal just by a byproduct, but just eating. And when I understood that eating was harder for me than the workout itself, then you're doing it right. And people don't still don't get that. Oh, I added an extra meal. It's like, bro, eating should be painful, and it's not like you have to do it forever. But realistically, to get very big quickly, you have to eat. And it's like once the eating is as much of a force as the working out itself, and you do that you don't do it forever. But you do it for 10, 12 weeks. You put on 15 pounds, right? You feel big, then you taper, your body gets used to it, then you do it again, right? It's not a lifelong thing. But that was the only way. I feel like I would still be 145 pounds if I wasn't like desperate to pick up the fork and get big, because I did not want to cut weight for college wrestling anymore.
Yeah, bro. I was about to say that was holy shit, like what, like 120 pounds? That is like what my ex-girlfriend used to weigh. Oh man.
Yeah, bro.
But I mean, yeah, that's what girls usually. Even if, now that I think of it, now the average girl weighs more like 160. If you look at it. Oh man.
Yeah, it's not where you're at.
I mean, bro, girls are getting fatter here too, to be honest. I mean, the gym girls not, but like the average girl on the street or like your classmate in school, hey bro, it's going here too, to be honest. Because if people push this propaganda, you're beautiful the way you are. But if that's not healthy for the person, if the person is genuinely like, a woman shouldn't weigh 200 pounds. She's not attractive to the majority of men, and she's genuinely not probably so healthy. It's like, I think that those people that tell her that she's beautiful just the way she is, even though she's fat as fuck, but just call it what it is, I think that those people are doing her a disservice, to be honest. And I see this so much more often.
You have no idea. I agree, but also it's it's just about being proud of yourself. And you can't tell me any person overweight's proud of themselves. And that's really what it comes down to. And how you do one thing is how you do most, or how you do all things. And your guys can gas you up as much as you want. But the problem with that is they're just beating around the bush. No one's real nowadays. And that's something I pride myself with in my coaching too. You're not paying me. I don't work with the people I work with because they want to get baby or pampered. Right? Bro, you're fucking up. Like, a lot of people need to wake up. A lot of people in this world will beat around the bush. A lot of people are scared to have a hard conversation. Right?
Yeah.
They're to be told the fucking truth. And like at times the truth does hurt, right? But a lot of people just need someone to be real with them. And there is a way to be real and not be a complete asshole about it, right? But also a lot of it comes down to there are times where the truth hurts, and a lot of people need the truth in order to grow. A lot of people are too scared to say, yo, bro, you're my friend. You look like shit. Yo, what are you going to do? Like, I'm saying this because I care about you. Not because this stops you from getting girls. Like, I care about you. Let's fucking do something. you know. And a lot of people are scared to have the hard conversations. Oh, what if they leave me? What if they? But at least you're fucking real with the person. And if you're real with the person, they will. If they can see that and you're not a dick about it, they will respect you and love you for being the person that finally said something.
Yeah, and you don't really want to, be with people that can't handle the truth, because if you can't really be honest with a person, is that relationship real? You know what I mean? This reminded me that, you know what, the reason when I started to go to the gym when I was, I think, 15 was because of my brother, bro. Like, I was in middle school, and a girl said that I have bigger titties than her, because I never struggled with being skinny. I always was the chubby kid. So a girl told me that my titties are bigger than hers, and bro, that fucking hurt me, bro. But then I told my brother, because I was bitching about it at home, and he told me, all right, tomorrow morning before school, 1 hour before school, you're going on a run with me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And I tried to back out of it in the morning, bro. He knocked on my fucking room, like, get up. I'm like, no, I want to sleep. Get up. It's like he got my ass up and got me to go on a run with him. And bro, it's like I was gassed out so quick. Like, I'm kind of ashamed of it now. But it's like, for the next week, he took me on a run every morning before school, and I didn't fucking want to go. I regretted bitching about it, but now that I look at it, thank God he bullied me into fucking going to the gym. Because, bro, I don't know if I would still be fat to this day if that day 3 years ago wouldn't happen, almost 4, you know?
Yeah, bro. That's so true. Some people need to get bullied into it. And like people will laugh at that, but like I don't know. That's how I relate everything to college wrestling. That was like the one thing I put my life into. Like, it was my whole entire life. It's what I ate, like everything you can imagine. It's all I did, all I talked about, all I dreamed about. And like it's very similar to life, right? It shows you how to lose. It shows you how to like you explore emotions, like getting embarrassed, losing in front of hundreds of people, losing in front of your family, right? And it's a combat sport. It's one man versus another. But the point I was going into that, it's like I was bullied into being good, right? It's either you're gonna get better or you're gonna go home and you're gonna quit. And it's harsh, but also it's the truth, right? Not saying you gotta go bully every person and to get in the gym when they don't want to, but there are some people who respond positively to you being like, yo, come on, like that extra push or that extra shove, right? When they're tired, a lot of people respond well to that. And a lot of people don't push as hard as they can because they have no one to get on their ass and be like, yo, no one above them, around them, being like, yo, you got more, you got more, you got more. Think of it like this. If you were even with your best friend and you saw your best friend do an extra 5 reps, you're going to fucking do it, especially if you're a man and you're competitive, right? Where a lot of people don't have that person, right? My best friend relationship, like one of my best friends to this day, Hayden Brown, he's a national champ at Johnson & Wales University. And our like relationship as friends, like my 5th year of college was like, bro, we would train like 3-4 times a day. And we'd wake up and we counted it out, dude. We trained like an absurd 320 something sessions in a span of a summer. It was our full-time job. All we did was train. And like, bro, it would be a Sunday morning. We're supposed to rest. My body's in pain, bro. And he just gets up, gets a pair. He's like, go get your running shoes. It's like 7 a.m. And bro, I'd sleep on his floor. He'd sleep on his bed. We'd wake up every day, train 2-3 times. I'm like, what do you mean? It's rest day. He's like, and he says the name of the kid that beat me last year. Looks like you're never going to be a fucking national champ. You're going to let this little bitch beat you again. And then he like smirks and walks away with his running shoes. Like, you're going to stay in bed if you have someone pushing you like that? No, you're going to get the fuck up and go. You know what I'm saying? And it's like having that positive influence, be like, yo, do more. It's like one of the best, bro.
How old were you in this period?
23.
Shit, bro. That's, you know what? Some people get that wake up call way later in life. You know what I mean? And you know what? I always see it's like, sometimes I see people, especially in January now, like go to the gym for like a month, 2, maybe not even that, and then just fucking quit all of a sudden. It's like, why? You go into the gym, you see motherfuckers that are jacked. You know that he's getting laid and you're at home fucking doing this. And then you just look at it. It's not like science. It's just like well, it kind of is, but it's like you do this for 6 years, you get this. It's like,
Yes.
why would you not do that? The time is gonna pass by anyways. You know what I mean? Why do you think people quit so quickly?
I think that this is a great question, and I think it's this confidence. Okay. And this is how I onboard every person onto my online team. If you have no experience working out, you're going to be second guessing what the fuck you're doing. Okay. Everyone in the world is at a different starting phase, right? Maybe you've never gone to the gym, or your best friend has gone 30 times, or the person that's trained for 3 years and hasn't seen results, right? And so, how do you see physical results as fast as possible? Because the more results you physically see, you might feel a little different, but if you don't see anything, you're ultimately going to stop because you're unsure it's working. You feel like you're wasting your time, right? But if you're down 10, you've been trying to lose 10 pounds for 3 years and you're down 12 pounds or we'll say like 6 pounds in 4 weeks, right? You're going to mentally buy in more as you win. The problem is people have no progressions. They have no structure. They have no guidance. They go into a gym, say, I'm going to lift weights, have no background on what that means. And you don't need to be a scientist to get strong, right? There are kids that are completely retarded that are jacked and go in and do the thing. But it's like, you have to have some sort of structure in which direction you're walking and how you're going to get there. So with all the people I onboard on my online team, I break it down like this. What are you good at? What are you doing now? And how are we going to get you closer to your goal fast? Now, if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, we're not going to do that in 12 weeks, right? I've had guys lose 28, 30 pounds in 12 to 14 weeks, but 50 pounds is a little crazy, right? So it's like, where are you? What are you good at? What 2 things, 1 to 2 things can I implement into your lifestyle to make it so you get results fast? Because if you do if you're lifting 5 days a week and you're trying to eat clean, you do all these random things and you don't see results in 6 weeks, you're going to quit rather than what are you good at? What are you doing already? I'm going to have you do these 2 basic ass things. Sometimes it comes even before working out. Like I have some people where it's like, all right, steps, and we're going to focus on eating 2 clean meals a day instead of 3 shit meals, right? And then a clean snack. Basic things to build them into habits. Because if they lose 6 to 7 pounds, they're going to buy in mentally and want to go harder. So it's really people quit because they don't see the results, but they lack the mental confidence that they can do it. But they don't give themselves enough time to build the confidence because they don't have the structure and the actionable steps in the direction in order for them to get to their goals fast. But it all comes down to like a confidence thing, right? If I wrestled for 5 years and didn't win a match, I would fucking quit. I lose, and then I win one. And then you win one, you're like, oh shit, maybe I can win 2, right? I'm sure it's your first thing. And same thing for making money, right? And sales, it's like, you lose, you make a sale. Maybe you make $2,000 and you're like, hold on, that's possible now. I only have to do that once a day and I can have a lot of this thing called money. You know what I'm saying? And you like break it down. Okay. And it builds up the confidence that you can do it. But if you don't see any wins because you have no structure, you're not going to have the confidence and you'll fall off.
Oh yeah, bro. Dude, even with this podcast, bro, back when I started like 3 years ago, it's like, I didn't think that, bro, like successful people or interesting people would even want to speak to me. Like, I'm just some kid from the middle of Europe. Like, why would they speak to me? Bro, like, I started outreaching like 50 a day, like, 50 people a day. Then, all of a sudden, I got one big podcast with Max Lewis. Then I got another big podcast with someone else. And it's like, before I know it, okay, now I have some, like, track record. Now some of these people know me. Now they see that they follow me, like Hamza maybe follows me, someone else follows me. And they're like, okay, now they trust me a little bit more. It's just at the beginning was very hard because nobody knew me. None of these people like trusted me, of course. So that was like the hardest part. But then as soon as it started to become easier, then it started to become more fun. You know what I mean? And it's like you're right. If you see the success, you're more motivated. But the motivation comes as a kind of like a reward for passing that first filter stage.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, how much percent do you think it is training and how much of it do you think is diet?
I think it's hard to say, right? I sell something called the lifestyle program. And essentially what it is I implement the lifestyle I lived in college wrestling. Now I say that and people might get a little timid, but it's just the structure, the habits, the training, the nutrition, right? And if anyone focused on their own personal development for 12 weeks, takes 10 weeks long for them to build a habit, it will change their fucking life. Now I have people who are on for a year. I have someone who bought a 2-year the other day, right? So it's lifestyle, right? In a sense of they're both equally important, but if you're training towards to get big and your eating is complete shit, you're still half in and half out, right? They complement each other. If you're eating very good, but you're training like a little bitch and there's no progressions in your training and you're just going into the gym, it's so hard. You can't do one without the other. You know what I'm saying? But from a coaching and client perspective on how I see it, it's hard for me to give an answer. It depends on the goal, but also I'm in a gym full time and I see more people training that have looked the same for 2.5 years than I have from people making diet adjustments. If that makes any sense. Like I see people in the gym who don't see any results and they go through the motions and they feel good because they go to the gym, but they're like, oh, it takes 2 years to build a physique. It's like, no. Like your lifestyle is one way. You live like a degenerate. Your habits are okay. Your eating has no structure to it and your training has no progression and plan. And it's like with those things, they're just constantly running in place. So, I mean, the answer to the question is neither. I'm going to say it's lifestyle because it depends on how you live, right? And I don't know. I see both sides very, very clear, but it's so hard to give an exact answer, especially me being a lifestyle guy, because you change one and if the other one's pointed over here, you're still not going to see any fucking results. And if you do both those in a way, but your habits and your lifestyle is completely degenerate, you're going to limit yourself. You're going to completely taper yourself, right? And a big thing I say often, it's not like living like a monk, but I think balance is bullshit. And I think if you can focus on a goal and delay gratification for a few weeks, celebrating strength is different than doing things to escape the life that you have built. And I don't even like saying earn your fun, because everyone's standards are so fucking low, right? I say earn your fun, and it's like, oh, yo, I worked 4 days this week. I ate like shit. I lifted once. Let's go get fucked up with my friends.
Yeah.
It's hard to say earn your fun. But I mean, I don't know. The answer to the question, I went on a little tangent there. But the answer to my question is lifestyle, bro, because it's hard. Without one, you can't do the other one correctly in a sense of seeing the results that you want to see.
In my opinion, I think you can get away with doing just one and not taking the other seriously for about the first year into the gym. For about the first year, you can get away with it, kind of.
Yeah, you can. And it's not like you got to be completely dialed on the thing, right? I'm just saying in a way of like, I'm a very all or nothing type of person. And in my eyes, it's like, why would you leave things unturned? You know what I'm saying? Why would you leave cards unturned? It's not that you got to do it perfectly, right? But it's like you can go to the gym and eat like shit if you're trying to get big. But also if you go to the gym and you eat like shit and you're trying to lose weight, you're not going to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? So they go, but you are right. Like when I started off on the journey, it's a lot of people just need to move their body. And a lot of people do just do strength and don't focus on nutrition, but they do go hand in hand.
What do you think that's either a specific meal or a diet that people think is healthy, but it's actually complete bullshit, but it's been propagated as hell? Oh, this is so healthy for you, where it's horrible.
I'm going to go a little off stream here. I think fasting is bullshit. I know fasting is bullshit. I think intermittent, and this is going to be a hot take. I think intermittent fasting, it's like, I think if you go on a 3-day cleanse fast to like people do this in for the Lord and to like drop vices, and I think that's great. And I think that's a great reset. I think people putting off food, depending on what their goal is, it's a lazier way to lose. It doesn't do anything. Like I said, I wrestled in college, and I break it down like this, right? You can have a PhD, you can be the smartest doctor in the world, but if you're fat, no one's going to fucking listen to you. Okay. I've cut more weight and I've gained more weight in weeks' time and been able to do it and perform at a high level. It's not like a bodybuilder where I cut weight and get on stage and pose to do some bullshit. I have to cut weight and I have to go fight hand-in-hand combat and win. I have to gain 8 pounds, go up weight, and fight hand-to-hand combat and win, right? So who has done it the most? I've had more I was cutting weight when I was 6, 7 years old to make fucking the 67 weight pound class in New Hampshire when I was like in middle school, right? So I've been doing it reps and reps again. And when I got really good at cutting weight in college, your metabolism's like this, okay? Think of your body like an engine. The more you fuel it, the more it's going to burn. With fasting, and I just say this because a lot of people fast to lose weight, right? With fasting, your body holds on to the carbs and fats you eat because it doesn't know when it's getting fed again. So they go through these 14, 16-hour periods without eating, thinking, oh, my body's burning fat. No, your body's holding on to the fucking carbs and fat because it's not when it's getting fed again, right? And there's this time range, like at the 18 to 20-hour mark, where your body will start eating its own fat, compared to having 6 to 7 small portion clean meals a day that keep the metabolism working, keep the body working. And the only reason I say that is from my past experience. When I would go from 180 pounds in college dress on preseason down to 160, I would do it in 3-4 weeks, all from my diet change. When I'm getting big, I'm eating 5 big meals. And when I would lose weight, I'd eat 5 to 7 times a day, small portions. And I tried fasting for years. I tried holding on and nothing fucking happened because my body wasn't burning like a well-oiled engine that's constantly getting fed food. When you're eating all day, it's oiled. It's working to break down the food you're eating. It's fueling your body compared to, oh, I'm going to eat in 16 hours. So if you ate some dirty shit before, it's just going to hold it. It just holds on to the stubborn fat. It just holds on to all those. Then you feed it again, and then you wait fucking 8 hours. And it's this never-ending cycle. For sure, people can lose 4 or 5 pounds. When you plateau there, it's much harder to plateau.
I think we probably have completely different experiences with this. For the past like year, I probably whenever I went on a cut, like small cuts, like 10, 15 pounds in the summertime to get leaner. I always fast and I only eat like one meal a day, like one big protein meal a day, but it's like I do keto in that 3 to 6 month period when I'm cutting. But I found that just like such a easy way to regulate calories and carbs, and genuinely it's like if you get only one meal a day, then you gotta make it good. And I found it that my weakness is fucking sugar, bro. Like when I'm with a fucking girl, I'm so tempted to eat ice cream or some shit. So the way I found it is I don't know if you know who Hamza is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he used this analogy that if you had to go to the gym and do only one set and then leave, you get only one set and then you have to leave the gym. Then you will make that set the most intense set of your fucking life. Because you only get one, then you got to go to the gym and you can only go tomorrow. So that set is the most intense that you're actually going to try harder and you're not going to train like a pussy. And I found the same way with the meals on a cut. It's like, when I get only one meal a day, holy shit, I'm going to eat fucking 300 grams of ground beef and 4 eggs next to it, and I'm gonna fill myself with fucking clean protein and maybe like fucking 15 grams of carbs or 10, you know. But it's like on a cut, I find that to be a good way for me at least to maintain muscle and or at least as much as possible. But I don't usually like get that much weaker on a cut. Even in my deadlifts, like they get like maybe 20 pounds low, maybe 25 on a 15-pound cut. But I found fasting the most important thing about it is it helps me with calorie regulation the most.
Yeah, that makes sense. But also you got to understand, you're eating a clean meal, a really clean meal. And that's something too. When I was cutting weight, I had to stay fucking stronger than my opponent. I couldn't afford to lose 20% of my deadlift. You get what I'm saying? The guy
Yeah, that
literally
makes
couldn't
sense.
afford it. And it's like, why would you do something if you know it's making you weaker to get cut, when obviously there's different ways to the top of the mountain, right? And I say that often. I think my way works the best, obviously, but there are different ways to top of the mountain, and I'm not arrogant, and I understand that, right? So why would you take one way if it does deplete your muscle, if it does deplete your physique, if it does make you weaker? Now, some people function off that fine, and it's all preference, right? You get what I'm saying? And it can make you a little more lean and a little more cut, but also feeding the metabolism, because when my people are cutting weight, we're getting stronger. The numbers are going up, but also because it's fueling your body. But now there's also a part of me that would argue against what I just said. And like people 100,000 years ago, the cavemen, you think they're eating 6-7 times a day? No. You know what I'm saying? They're eating one big meal a day, and then they're going out and hunting. But also that's just not the world we live in now.
So, so I also think that it's because we had like different goals with the cut in mind. Like you had to like keep your strength, and that was really important to you. I at the time, the only martial arts was I was doing boxing like twice a week, and I didn't even try like a beating that. But also like being light was kind of a benefit for me. But mostly I was really just doing it, just for the looks, and also just to feel good. And I wasn't doing a competitive. I wasn't competing in anything particular at the time, so that's maybe the reason why I was doing that. But if I were, being a professional wrestler like you, I would probably not do that. Yeah, I completely understand that. To be honest, it's like you also people also have to define what's the goal.
Yes, I agree. And something that has come up with like the numbers, I'm a big understanding your macro profile guy. And a lot of people, and I say this because my ex-girlfriend used to get caught up on calories. Oh my God, you can't eat over this calories. And I never once tracked calories in college. When I was on a big cut, I knew my macros, my proteins, carbs, and fats, because when I could adjust the macros, I could lose weight much faster compared to people being hyperfixated on a number, a caloric number. For me, it was always the structured eating around my training. So if I'm sitting at a desk all day, why do I need 75 grams of carbs? You don't. You're sitting there. You're going to get tired and feel like dog shit. You know what I'm saying? You need high, but pre-workout, you could crush 45 grams. You could crush a sandwich and go work out because it's the fuel. So like the structured eating schedule was always a big priority to me over a caloric number.
So I actually have a question about that. Why, when you're on a rest day, for example, or something, you don't really do that much exercise that day? Why, when you eat like a big carb meal on a day where you don't do much physically, always, at least for me, I feel like a fucking zombie, like a carb crash. Like, bro, I feel like fucking retarded, dude, whenever I eat a big carb meal. Like, for example, today, for me, it's 7 p.m. and I'm yet to have my first meal. Because I was, because I was working today and I was awake since I woke up at 10 a.m. today, kind of late. But yeah, but it's also because I also like to have like my last meal like 1 hour before bed, which I don't think that's really good because my body just doesn't have the time to like process that. But my question is, why do you, at least for me, and I think that a lot of people can relate, why do you feel fucking tired after eating a meal, like a big carb meal?
It's just like a blood sugar spike. So like, and that's another thing with like why I say eat 5 to 7 times a day, smaller portions if you're trying to lose weight or get more lean. Think of it like this. Your blood sugar's tapered. When you eat one meal, a ton of carbs, it spikes and it crashes, right? But also, you know what else spikes it? The 3 big meals. People will be like, oh, I can't lose weight. The 3 big meals, right? So it'll spike, crash, compared to if you have a small snack for breakfast, you have two eggs 2 hours later. For lunch, you have some ground beef and a sweet potato. The blood sugar will stay tapered all day long and it's constantly burning rather than just big carb overload. And I feel it, right? I'm sitting, I have some office work to do after this. I'm hungry right now, not as hungry as you. You're a sick fuck for not eating all day. But it's like, I wouldn't go crush 2 servings of rice because I'm going to be sitting down. I'm going to do something that fuel my brain. I still need to get big. So I know I'm going to eat my carbs when I have to go back to the gym later and train clients because I'm going to be moving, and that will make my the blood sugar not crash as hard.
Yeah, I definitely also I also find that it depends. Like for me, at least, it's like what stage of life I'm in and what's the priority at the time. For me, right now, it's my work, so that's like my priority. So it's like if I'm gonna lose a bit of muscle over the next couple of months, maybe the next 6 months of my life, but I'm gonna get from 4 figures to 5 figures a month. Holy fuck, I would take a year of losing muscle for that. You know, going for 4 figures a month to 5 figures, bro. If that's what if all it takes is like losing like 5 pounds of muscle, bro, sign me up for that immediately. And that's kind of like what you're indirectly doing. But then maybe you also have like a period of time where you fucking look like shit, and then bro, you don't want to be that fat rich dude that has to pay for pussy or like not just that, but they pay for respect or pay for whatever the fuck. So it's like you kind of have to, I don't really find a good balance with it. I always like have like periods of time, and you know what? Sometimes, bro. Sometimes I work out like once a week, and it's like those periods of times I don't feel that good. But when I work out like 6 days a week, like sometimes I also don't feel good because fucking hell, I'm not making any progress in what's really important to me. I found that there are periods of time where I work like 3-4 times a week, but I get the most shit done. I feel like those are the best fucking weeks. Usually the last weeks, not months. But those are like the best weeks of my life, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Like I'm 18, I know I got some time to figure it out, but how do you find like the balance between not letting your diet affect your work, your purpose, whatever?
Yeah, so I gotta say, it's like a give and a take, right? It's like anything in life where energy flows, productivity goes. And right, I'm not gonna call out, but a lot of people will say bodybuilders are broke. I've heard it a bunch. I've heard it because all their energy is going into this thing, right? I might have been in a little better shape than I am now 8 months ago, but also my business wasn't half as what it is 8 months ago, right? And I'm also I'm battling this too. I'm training for an ultra marathon. I have a week from today. I'm running 31 miles up the mountains in Asheville, North Carolina. And so I've been lifting and I've been running like a psycho. And it's all like, what takes away your energy and your time, right? And so for me, running a business while working a full-time job, while training, right? I don't have much time to fuck around. The only reason I can run the full-time business is because I work every day. Friday, Saturday, I'm up at 6, 7 in the morning. Sunday, I'm up at 6, 7 in the morning. And it's not like you can't go have fun and live your life, but I'll work till noon and I'll be focused. And then I'll go to the gym. I'll coach clients for some side cash. And then I'll come back, I'll train, and then I'll have the afternoon, right? But it's about stacking your priorities. But for me, man, I've really been running out. I have a good foundation, and I wasn't blessed with it. I built a good foundation. That's something I do with all my clients. It's a lot of people just have a shitty foundation. If you go back, you rebuild the foundation and you stay ahead of everyone, it's hard to lose it if you're still training. And so for me, man, I used to be a big push, pull, legs guy. I'm on the full bodies, man. It's quick. It's been helping me. It's been helping me look good, especially with all the running. I can really target the weakness, but I've been lifting probably 3 days a week, and I've been running probably 2 to 3 days a week. But when I'm not doing that, I'm just lifting 4 days a week. And some weeks it's 3, but a lot of times like I said, I'm an all or nothing type of person. I still battle vices and temptations, and I'll lift on Tuesdays, I'll lift Thursdays, and then usually Friday, Saturday nights, because if I don't book something for them, I'll go on a date or I'll go do some dumb shit that I shouldn't be doing. And I know that about myself. So I'll get 2 of my boys, we'll bring the cameras into the gym and we'll lift Friday, Saturday nights. But usually it's anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week. It's never really more than that. I've been running right now, but to me, the happy split where it's business, so, obviously client fulfillment first, but then it's business. How do I pay my bills? Social life last, relationships last. And that sweet spot for me, it's been really 3 days a week where I've been doing 3 to 4 days a week where I've been doing honestly full lifts, and they've been working out well for me.
And I also find that, you know what I don't actually like is when some influencers like try to cater to everyone, you know, give advice to everyone. I'm like, fuck no, bro. Like, if somebody puts like bodybuilding and fitness first, and then business and all of that, I would suggest that person to not take my advice. Okay, like for me, like fitness is maybe second place, like maybe even third, to be honest. But it's like, I only want to get to a point where I can maintain my abs, look good, and feel good. Okay, and defend myself and like get better at boxing. That's all I want. I don't want to compete. I don't want to be a fitness influencer, for example. But if that's somebody's goal, they shouldn't take my diet advice. Shouldn't take my lifestyle advice, you know? But when I see like so many people, even like people like Greg Doucette, for example, he does this the most. It's like he says that if anybody does anything that he doesn't agree with, it's wrong, and it's like they should have this diet that he says. But then someone like Hamza, for example, people shit on him because he changed his mind a million times. But realistically, the dude has had a period of time when he was strict carnivore, 0 grams of carbs a day, and he went from 100k to 200k a month, right? But then he had a period when he ate like fucking fruits, sweet potatoes, all of that, and he was making more chill content, and he was making edited content, all of that. But then he had periods of times when he was doing this and then this, but he doesn't like preach to people you need to do it like this, because hey, I might change my mind. Hey, I might end up doing something else. So it's like, everybody doesn't have to listen to me. And what do you think about people that just are way too fucking stubborn or thinking outside of the box to think that some people have different goals?
I think it's just so fucking arrogant, and that never used to be me, but the only thing that shaped that, I used to be a little fixed on one way, but I could open up and understand someone from a different concept. I just think it's a fixed-minded thing, and it's an ego thing that a lot of men don't know how to control. Like, for instance, why would someone work with you or pay you to do your service if you're younger than them? Or like they knew you from high school, so they're like, I used to be better. I used to think I was better than this kid. How could I work with him now? Right. And I think it's an ego thing, but also being able to just be humble and understand that I know that there's other ways to the top of the mountain. Right. But a big thing that shaped me from that was surrendering. Like, a lot of people need to get beat up. That's what I said the other day. And like, losing a college wrestling match in front of hundreds of people while your family's watching, the girl you like's in the stand, your fucking coaches, your teammates. Like, it's the most humbling thing in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And after that, being just hurts. And after that, being able to surrender and just in a sense of to your coaches and your teammates and be like, you know more than me, show me the way, and I'm going to put my ego aside, and I'm always willing to learn. And I believe in my heart, I can learn one thing from every single person in this world. And a lot of people don't think like that. Like, they have the key. I make more money than this person. They know. And it's like, bro, I could learn something from someone who knows nothing about fitness. I truly, truly believe that, right? I'm not the smartest. I just think it's an ego thing, and I think it's arrogance. People think that they know it all, and, oh, this way is the only way. It's like, they know, and a lot of that on social media is right for rage bait, right? But like, a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people know, but it's a fixed mindset. I like to call it a broke mindset. They only see things from one perspective and one perspective only. And that thing, not being like willing to learn, is what holds so many men back, because men don't know how to control their ego, bro. If you can put your ego aside and be like, teach me the way, like, you might know something I don't know. It's not like, oh, if you might know a little something, explain that to me, teach it to me. Like, just being open and willing to learn that way, bro, it has brought me personally, I'm not speaking for so much success. Learning from kids younger than me, learning from people smaller than me, just understanding different perspectives. I think it's just a fixed mindset thing. And if the people don't understand how to shift that mindset, that fixed mindset will they will always be below the fixed mindset.
Yeah, man. I wanted to use an example because I have a second channel. It's a dating channel, and I always have like in description like DM me if you want help with your dating life. And there was this one kid. He was 16. He was 3 years younger than me, and he said, "How do I get girls?" It's just a simple open-ended question. I'm like, well, I could just tell him, yeah, bro, get on Tinder and then start approaching in real life and then go to the gym and do blah 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 blah. No, 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 no. He's 16. Okay, he's probably in high school, whatever. The first thing I asked him, well, what's the goal? Do you want to fuck bitches or do you want to just stay a virgin until you find that one girl and just marry her and have kids? Well, what's the fucking goal? And then since he's 16, I'm like, dude, okay, don't go looking for 23-year-old girls and get him in jail, bro. So I'm like, high school, I can't give this kid advice because I didn't get girls in high school. All right. So it's like, I could not, and especially I don't want to get this guy onboarded and then have to refund him 2 months later because my advice ain't fucking working because I have no experience with getting girls in high school. I was a virgin in high school, bro. I have no experience to give to this guy. So it's like, although that one greedy side of me with a long nose wanted to take his money or like to try to close him, follow him, whatever. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm not gonna deal with the fucking refunding bullshit and all of that. I'd rather just save myself the trouble. I'm sorry, bro. Like I can't really help you with that. It's like, bro, if you were 18, maybe. But this is why I always say now, like I don't help like guys under 18, for example. I don't give advice to those guys because until I was 18, I wasn't good with girls at all. So that's like the first thing. And yeah, other people are in different situations. And I hate when people try to give someone life advice when they've never experienced that situation. Like 18-year-old guys my age giving 40-year-old men life advice on YouTube. I'm like, that guy went through 2 divorces already and lost custody of his child. Yeah. And you're 18, bro. What advice can you give him? You can give him financial advice, business advice, okay, fitness advice, but don't give him life advice, bro. Come on, man. But you see this all the time, bro. It's kind of funny, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Even what you just said, it made me think of me. That's why, like, I'm hesitant when people ask what I do, like life coach. Oh, you know more about life? It's like, no, bro. It's like habits, parts of life. But you're exactly right. But also it's like framing it in a story of what you just told me, it's a little hard. But also, I'm sure you could teach a 30-year-old man on how to maybe wheel or pick up a girl differently than any experience or any thought that he's ever had. You get what I'm saying? Like because it's a younger you have a completely different.
Well, also I think that I'm not exactly sure about that because since I'm 19 and I'm not 30, bro. When I'm gonna be 30, I'm gonna be running a completely different game with these girls. For example, I'm gonna be playing the mature guy and girls that have a fetish for older guys. I'm gonna play that game, bro. I'm gonna grow out a fucking beard and be like the fucking daddy type shit to these girls because some girls have a fetish for that. But it's like, bro, right now I'm 19. I'm gonna play the fucking clavicular card, fucking Lixmax type shit, bro. Because this is what works now. But it's like, so yeah, again, at the 30-year-old guy, I don't know if I really would feel comfortable with taking on the responsibility of his day, because you also have to realize you lose people, not just their money that they invested with you, but months of their lives if it doesn't work, and your reputation on the other end. So that's why I wouldn't really like, for example, I wouldn't, if I was doing coaching in fitness, I wouldn't coach like a anorexic guy because I was always the fat kid. So I don't know how hard it is to gain weight when you're skinny.
Yeah, you're right. You definitely have to. You have to have experience both in order to give the authority to coach it.
Or you can also coach some people for free and get a testimonial and get experience in helping those people. I know that you help them for free, so now you can help people paid. I also find that to be another way to go about it.
100%. 100%.
So I want to ask you, what do you think would happen if you stopped working out for a year, but you still ate clean. Would you how much do you could retain muscle if you ate clean but stopped working out completely?
You definitely lose. You would lose a lot, man. I think you would lose damn near all your gains, bro. Like not all of it. I don't think right if you have a good frame and a good foundation, but I would kill myself. I don't think I could ever do that. I would go nuts. Literally, I can barely sit still in a chair for an hour, but dude, you would lose. You would lose so much of your gains. Like, bro, I went to Ibiza, Spain for 2 weeks, and I trained only twice. Right, you don't lose much physical gains, but numbers. I'm a big data guy. All my clients run off data. I know that they're getting stronger through the numbers, that all that stuff. And I mean, dude, 2-3 weeks off in the gym. I had a client just come back from a month vacation. He's weak, man. He lost a lot of muscle, and you may not physically see it. I mean, I don't know, bro. It depends. If you can go out and exercise and move your body, you would definitely lose muscle. Obviously, the world wouldn't end. You would still look better than the average American by a mile if you still ate clean and did all those things. If you were allowed to run or do cardio, it depends up. But the end answer, you would definitely lose more muscle than you would think. It takes 2 weeks to cycle in if you're at a peaked out state. 2 weeks of no training, and you would lose not 50%, but it's like 15%, 15 to 20% of the muscle that you are at that peak stage. So that's something I run it off. You may not lose the physical. Yeah, but if you didn't train, this is something we used to run off in college. If you didn't train for 2 weeks at all, you took 2 weeks off of wrestling, right? Lifting, right? You come back in 2 weeks, you will be 15 data driven, 15% weaker in certain lifts than you were when you were training consistently.
I didn't think it would be that much, to be honest. But wow, interesting. I was in a hospital for 4 days in January last year, and then I couldn't work out legs. I couldn't train legs for 2 months. Realistically, he said 3, but I started training after 2 months. But I noticed like my weight's gone down, but like visible muscle mass, bro. I still thought that my legs looked very similar, if not like the same as 2 months ago. Before that, so I don't know if that's really like a year. Definitely would be visible. A year of not working out, but after 2 months of not training legs at all, I didn't see much difference at all. Only in the weights. Definitely, my squat went to shit.
Exactly. I don't think you would see a big difference. Now, if you have massive ass legs, maybe. I don't think you would see a huge difference, but you would feel it in the gym. You would feel the number. You get under the rug, like, what the. But the thing about that is, it's not muscle memory, it's the foundation, right? I broke my collarbone in college, and you come back quick. It doesn't take you the same amount of time it did to start. You come back in 4 or 6 weeks. You come back very, very quick, right? But you do lose it quick. It comes back even faster though.
Mm. Yeah, man. I wanted to get into some rapid fire questions before we wrap up. Ready?
Let's get it. Yeah.
What's your best advice? What's the best advice that someone gave you? My bad.
I actually went down and I dove into my old notebook to find this one because I was like, I have advice. People give me advice every day, and it's like, never allow the fear of failure to prevent you from attempting to be great. And I used to move out of the fear of failure. So many people do. They don't realize they're doing it. I want to do this, but I don't want to look stupid. I want to try to start a podcast, but I don't want to only have 4 views on the first video. And it's like, so many people just hold themselves back because, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go to this class because I'll look like I've never done it before. You're going to look stupid in every single thing you do when you first start out. And it's like the fear of failure held me back for years. And if I didn't get beat up in front of people to actually understand, life still moves on and this doesn't actually matter. That's when I started posting on social media, being myself, because I didn't care. But the fear of failure held me back for years. And I wonder, like, what if I actually didn't give a shit? Where could I be now if I started posting like I wanted to in college, but I didn't do it because of the perception of women and my friends?
Now, what would you say, and this is kind of like a hard question, but what would you say was one or two proudest moments in your life?
Become it becoming a national qualifier in college wrestling. People would say like, "Oh, you're not a national champ. How is that the proudest thing?" It was the first time I went all in on something. I didn't miss a day wrestling for 400 days. I went on vacation. I wrestled every single day. Even if I didn't find a mat, I'd go wrestle in the dirt. But that was the first time I've ever been proud of myself. I set out for a goal to be an All-American in college. I lost in the blood round of nationals. I fell one match short, but it was the first time. Obviously, the pain of not doing it, not accomplishing your childhood dream, being this close and losing was great, but it was the first time I was proud of myself because I went all in and I did everything. And I looked back and I'm like, damn, I have no regrets. I did literally everything. And so I could have walked away with my head high from that.
I think that the proudest, honestly, you'd feel prouder giving everything you have into something and failing than giving it half effort and still winning somehow, or cheating your way into a win. I think you'd feel way prouder losing, but knowing what it feels like to push to the fucking end. And to be honest, bro, I know that in my 19 years of life, I maybe have pushed like 60% at something, maybe 70. But it's like I haven't pushed 99% at anything yet. And I'm yet to do that. Perhaps in the next couple of years, perhaps in my 20s. But man, I know that pushing like about 70% into something, bro, it kind of like raises your baseline with your habits, with your standards of what you expect from yourself. And it kind of changes something for the rest of your life. Like one time, I befriended a guy from my old gym who looked like he was in his 60s, and he was working out since he was 20, bro. So this guy was all life natty, but he was still pretty big for a 60-year-old. Like he had still abs at 60, which was cool as fuck. I wanted to be like him. And one day I trained legs with this guy, bro. That was like the most painful fucking day of my life. Like I didn't realize how much of a pussy I trained like until I trained with this motherfucker that's 60. He has like 40 years of gym experience. I had trained for like 2 or 3 years at that time. I had no idea how hard, how much quicker your mind will quit before your body does. And bro, I can tell you those leg extensions, bro. Though that felt something like. Have you seen that video with Tom Platz and that younger guy? And he was like guiding him to a workout of his. I don't know if you saw it, but a Tom Platz workout basically. And that motherfucker was fucking yelling and saying, and after every set it says, "Bro, I want to go home." And it's like, bro, that's kind of like what it felt like. These older guys, bro. I would advise anybody watching this, bro, get or like just start a conversation with a guy that looks like he's 50, 60, but he's in good shape, like he's been training for a while. Try to make him a friend and then ask him to, work out together one day. I think that the majority of these guys are training like fucking beasts even at this age, bro.
100%, bro. And it, like you said, the biggest thing that you just said, it raises your baseline. It makes you understand, damn, I'm performing at a low level.
Yeah.
And if I want to look like that, if I want to do what he's doing, I need to work at that level.
Like 5 days later, my next leg day, bro, I kind of knew the pain level that I would usually end the set before, and I went like fucking 5 more reps after that, and I'm like, it's like I had that tendency to quit, but it's like I still kind of heard the echo of that motherfucker. Keep going. Like a fucking bad dream, but it's like in a way it was good because it feels so much better after you get the set done. You know what? So it's delaying gratification is so hard when I think about it because you feel so much better if you resist the pain for another 10 seconds. 10 seconds of delayed gratification when you're at the pain of fucking leg extensions or something like that. It's so hard, but it's so worth it. And it's just like, it's kind of like a skill that you kind of have to train.
Yeah, it's the I don't want to muscle. You need to train the I don't want to muscle. And the people that train that the best are usually some of the most successful, right? You can still be successful and be lazy, but the people that train the I don't want to do it muscle are the people that do whatever they want to do with their life because they can withstand the longest amount of time under the I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Doesn't mean do all the shit you hate. It just means you have to be able to endure that and do the I don't want to do this, but you know what? This is just what we do. I'm gonna go do it anyway.
Yeah, and I also don't think that you just go from training like a pussy to training like fucking Tom Platz overnight, bro. Like I can tell you, after training with that old guy, like the next leg day after that, I trained harder than before, but still less hard than with that guy. So this is why I think that people that just want to train alone, but have never trained with a gym bro or something for a period of time. I think that bro, that accountability, and especially that you want to always do like more reps than that guy and train harder than him. I think that at least like for a year straight, if you have like a friend that trains fucking hard and you that inspires you for a year of your life, then maybe if you move out of town or whatever, you carry that for a while at least, I think. But I hate like 15, 16-year-old guys that have been training for 6 months and say, I don't like to train with other people, I want to train by myself. No, it's just because you don't want to fucking talk to people, because you'd rather just be on your phone in the middle of your sets, bro, because you're antisocial. Okay, that's a real reason why, bro.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. Or sometimes, bro, after I'd get home from my job back in the day, few months ago, and then bro, and then a client of mine would need a thumbnail for his YouTube video, and I just had dinner, I'm ready to like put it on nighttime mode, but I'm get ready to sleep, and this motherfucker needs a thumbnail now for his YouTube video. Okay, I'll send him this tripling. I get the thumbnail, bro. My eyes are fucking hurting. I had an 8 or 9 hour shift, but then it's like that. I don't want it muscle. Like I don't want to muscle, like you said. It's like that fucking moment, bro. I don't wanna go to sleep, but for another 2 hours, I'm gonna stay awake. But it's like those are the nights that I'm the most proud of. Even if those thumbnails didn't end up being the best ones. The proud is am I, because I know the story. When I look at that, and I remember that night when I was fucking exhausted, and maybe I had an argument with my girlfriend that day, and then I had a shitty day at my job, and then at the end of the day, I had this on my table. I know that day was a day where I raised my baseline by another 0.5% or maybe 1%. You know what I mean? And on those days, people don't value those days in a way.
Exactly. That's what makes you proud. And it's all about being proud of yourself. But you're right. I look back at those days wrestling in college, and it's like you don't realize how people like want to get through the grind, and the grind sucks and the journey sucks. And it's like everyone wants the end goal, the Ferrari, the hot girl, the millions and millions of dollars, and the six pack. And it's like getting that, when you look back, it's the best thing ever. I know, like right now, I'm in the grind journey. I know you are too. We're gonna look back at this in 5 years. Damn, remember when I was at the gym at 5 a.m. every single day, coaching 7 days a week, running an online business, had like limited social life, was avoiding women, avoiding temptation, and then you're like, we're gonna look back and be like, this was the time. This was when shit was made. This will be the best time of our lives.
Nothing I think feels more wrong than, for example, when you get a girl that is realistically a little bit above you. Like, like this girl is like a virgin. You're her first guy. She's really getting like fucking 50 guys in her DMs. She has like 20,000 more followers than you. She's better looking than you in every way, and then you lose her. But then you're not really surprised, because you're like, well, I didn't even earn this level of girly in a sense. And then when you get the reward before the struggle, you kind of wish you didn't get the reward because you wanted to earn it. And then when you lose it, it's kind of like a relief, because now you get the chance to earn the reward or to work towards the reward. But you know how good it feels. I don't know if you had anything similar to that, but it's even with friendships. For example, some people, like, I've had friends that have made like what I make in a year, they make it in a month, and I just feel like feel kind of guilty a little bit, because I feel like I'm wasting this guy's time, because I don't have much to teach him. I'm just a funny guy, but I just get so much value from this guy. He's teaching me so much. This guy should be talking to people on his level. And it kind of feels a little bit wrong, even though as dudes it's not as personal. It's like it's still like I don't get end up like getting taking it personally if that guy just stops talking to me or whatever. It's like it's not personal in a sense, because the reward of high quality friends before you even earn it, for example. Now, another question would be, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self? Or if you could have a conversation with the 18-year-old you, what would you talk to him about?
I think it would just be the perception. All it would be is about fuck everybody else and do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. Just in a sense of perception. I used to be so worried about what females would think of me. I used to be so worried about what girls would think of me, guys, my friends, my coaches, my parents. And don't do anything to disrespect your family. I post some crazy shit on social media. Sometimes on my Instagram, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. And like I said, I post some crazy shit. But before I post it, I always think like, would this disrespect my family, my mom, my dad in any way? And if the answer is no, then usually I'll post it. But I used to act out of scarcity. I used to not do the things that I wanted to do because no one would do them with me. I used to not want to go on the hike in the woods or to the rock climbing wall because I couldn't get friends to do it with me, instead of me just being like, I'm going to go do this because I want to go do this. And I feel like a lot of people do things and be in groups like me just to fit in and fit in and fit in. And then a lot of times you figure it out. Sometimes it's too late. Other times you just wish you figured it out earlier. And a lot of people don't figure out that the perception of other people that doesn't matter at all. I'm 25 years old, and there's very few people that understand that my age. Like people 35, 40, a lot of people realize at 38, 39 years old is I've been doing things because a group or people that I know want me to do it, not because I want to actually fucking do it. The biggest thing for me would just be perception. Keep stepping forward, but just know in like 6, 7 years, you're not going to give a fuck what anyone thinks because you're proud of yourself. And like, that's the ultimate thing. I wish I could have made myself prouder sooner. And then you being proud of yourself ultimately makes you not give a shit because you know who you are. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's hard to just say F everyone else. And, like the most successful people in the world, they don't give a shit, but it's because they know who they are. Yeah, sometimes it has to do with money, this and that, but ultimately they know who they are. They know what they're capable. They know what they stand on. So they don't need to prove anything to anyone else. I used to just try and do things, prove it to other people in a sense of like, if you can prove it to yourself, no, nothing else fucking matters.
That's solid advice, man. Yeah, bro. I remember something so similar to this, but my first few podcasts, bro, it's like when I still had an accent like this because I was a European. All my classmates back in high school, but they were making fun of me. What are you trying to be American, bro? Speaking English? It's like they were making fun of me for speaking English, and especially making content in English. And then now it's crazy to look at it 3 years later, and like now I speak fluent English, and it's like, and not only that, but it's like I've also been able to leave high school and get away from those people, and especially now meet so many amazing people such as yourself. And it's just because I persisted, It's just because I could have made all those podcasts or videos, deleted them or made it private or whatever, but I didn't. Even though I knew that the second day I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna get shit on for this, I'm gonna post it anyways.
Yes. And that's what it's about. People don't understand that. And there's so much success on the other side of embarrassment. A lot of people are scared to explore that embarrassment and feeling like, oh, I fell short, or oh, I look stupid. And it's like, you learn so much about you. Embarrassment is an underexplored emotion. And the more times you embarrass yourself, the more you understand is, oh, I actually learned more during that than I did winning. And that no one actually remembers that, right? You take an L, people might remember it tomorrow. The Super Bowl just happened. People fucking 3 more days, nobody's going to give a shit. I didn't even give a shit. But like some people are still bothered today, right? Tomorrow will pass. Nobody gives a shit. Like nobody cares. Everyone's focused, so self-centered. People act as if everyone's talking about them, thinking about them, when in reality, nobody gives a fuck. Everyone's self-centered in a way.
Yeah, bro. Like the best example of this recently could be like Andrew Tate, bro. He did that fight, right? And he lost in December. You know about that, right?
Yeah.
And people like say that he's not top G anymore or whatever. Bro, that nigga put it all on the line and he lost. But he didn't lose the respect that people have for him. Most people in his place wouldn't risk it all, bro.
Exactly. That's what it's about. People in his place wouldn't risk it all. And he still has the nuts to drag his nuts and go out there and say, hey, look at me. Fall short, walk away with his head high and say, you know, we're still stepping forward. We're still going to go get the bag. You know, that's what does it.
So, Nick, what's next for you the rest of this year, man? What are you doing this year?
We're just growing the online business, man. That's it, man. We're stacking wins. I'm viewing 2026 as a big year of business, big year of client fulfillment, big year wins, man. The more people I get to work with, the more it's just fulfilling. I broke it down. People ask why I coach. College wrestling gave me a high that nothing else could give me. I tried it with drugs. I tried it with alcohol. I tried it with partying. Tried it with a 9-to-5. Tried it with I used to frame houses. I tried it with all these things. Nothing gave me a high except, long story short, I had a little girl that I was coaching, hit a box jump she didn't believe she could hit. We trained for it for 6 weeks. I used to coach her for free because her parents would hook me up with raw milk and eggs in college. And she hit the box jump, and it was like I got that high. And it was like she needed me to believe in her more than she believed in herself. That was same high college wrestling in me. That's why I coach. Me onboarding people, me having other people achieve things and chase things that they didn't think was possible was the most fulfilling year in the world. I'm going to keep scaling. I can't wait to watch this video back. I'm going to have over 50,000 followers by the end of 2026 on Instagram. We're going to be absolutely ripping here, man. I'm already got so much momentum going, and this year's going to be life-changing for me. But we're really just going to keep building the business, keep coaching, and keep providing value.
Yeah, man. I love it when someone has like one particular goal to give everything into. Like so many people say, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this. I'm gonna get a girlfriend, and I'm also gonna try to get the 10K a month, and then I'm also gonna get abs. And I'm like, bro, like how about you maybe try to focus for one thing for 6 months, and like just give it your fucking all. You know what I mean? Like too many new goals at once. If you've achieved a lot of goals in a lot of areas already, and you just want to maintain them whilst you grow another, okay. But if you want to start 6 things, bro, I don't think that you're gonna move very well in all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100% right.
Yeah, man. Where can people find you?
Instagram, Rager.fitness, ROEGER.fitness, and YouTube. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And that's what it is. I'm on all of them, man. And yeah, we're just going to keep pumping out. I'm excited to watch this video, man. And I appreciate you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too, bro. I'm gonna put all of Nick's links in the description of this video, so check it out, guys. I'm also gonna have some clips out of this, bro. So this podcast is gonna get a lot of good moments out of this. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching till the end, and God bless. Catch you on the next one. Yo, this